Hey everybody, my name is Vincent Carancho, and I will be showing you the shortcomings and the wish lists of this project. So the first shortcoming that we had is the lack of functionality on the forgot password page, and that is due mostly to the fact that we do not have an SMTP provider, and that provider basically is a service that sends emails on our behalf and on our behalf of the domain too, right? So that is one feature. So yeah, so let me just like log in here, and yeah, so the second thing that we wished that we wanted to implement is the ability for users to basically like group messages by like topic, right? So for example, this AI thing right here, so AI LLM, AI final, they would be like categorized under AI, right? So basically, like we want the user to be able to like organize and group the conversations wherever they please, right? That'll like help the user like navigate through everything much more easier, right? A second feature that we also want to do is we also want to add like a little sorting and filtering bar right here, so the users can like filter and sort conversations by many different features, right? So like let's say ABC order or like created by or last modified by, we should be able to sort it. But right now we have this sorted in the way that it's like last modified, right? That's right now. Also, something that we really need to like work on in the future iterations of this application is the way that we render math, right? So right here, this is normal latex, right? But for some reason, we found a bug that it duplicates the normal the normal latex without rendering any of like the latex stuff. Like for example, like the fractions, right? So right here, um, it completely duplicates the contents right here for some reason, right? So this one is basically equivalent to this one without like the fancy rendering. And yeah, these are just like testing things that we've done during the development. This is not a problem because that should not happen at all. And yeah, additionally, we want the chat info button to reveal like a little window that has all the details about this chat, right? Right now we only have it set to show the chat title and stuff, but we also want it to be like kind of a control panel, so the users could basically like change the name of the conversation. For example, they could change how the assistant like kind of responds to you. For example, if you needed to like kind of explain it more simply, stuff like that. And also, you could like also change the description and like many more other options about like each conversation, right? So that is something that we want to implement in the future. Next, the notes. We really want to implement like some sort of like code block. Normally in this like app called Notion, it would be like this, but like for some reason like there's no like feature to do code blocks in here. So the implementation of code blocks is a very like cool thing to add in this notes feature, right? So let me just save that. And also, you see that pop-up right there on the bottom right side of the screen. Yeah, that is something that we want to like kind of improve the UX. You see how it keeps on like kind of like unnaturally popping up. That is something that we want to kind of improve upon, right? So that is basically it for the front end. Also, so now we're gonna be moving on to the back end, right? So basically, this whole thing right here is. Wait, give me a second. Oh yeah. So basically, this whole thing is generated documentation and stuff. And basically, this works completely fine for the purpose it is right now. But the thing is, there's one big problem with this entire way that the backend works, right? So this is a publicly available API, by the way, right? And that is the main problem. It's publicly available, right? This API should only give responses to authenticated users, right? Basically, like what I mean is the user only should be able to access like the API only if they're signed in, right? That is something that we haven't been able to do due to like some time constraints, but we've almost like had it down, right? In this file right here, we have a decode JWT, and basically that contains information on how if the user is authenticated or not, right? So basically, right here, in this website right here, I am not authenticated at all, right? Which basically means that I could just press execute, and it'll basically say a successful response, right? Optimally, we want this to return an unsuccessful response just because right now I am not authenticated in this URL, right? But otherwise than that, that is like our main shortcomings and stuff. I do have some like recommendations on how to improve the backend as well. This is mostly due to this class right here, called the model singleton. Basically, what this backend logic does is it uses that model singleton to complete the response. But we were thinking about converting the model singleton, and like every time this function gets called, it gets deep copied, and it basically uses that deep copy to basically complete that entire chat response. Also, we also were thinking about migrating the STARS website to basically share the same domain and the same styling as Stars GPT, right? So if I go in here, we basically like want to put all the information inside of this Stars thing right here into this thing right there. And otherwise than that, I think that is basically all of the improvements and the suggestions, and also the shortcomings and the wish lists that we wish we could have done during development here. But yeah.